Welcome back, guys. Today's going to be a rather short video. As you can see, the background here is a little different than the last few videos, and there's a good reason for that, but we're not going to get into that today. That's not today's episode topic. Today's episode is going to be the start of a new series that I'm going to do, and the basis of this series is I'm going to give my opinions on a certain subject, and it's supposed to be a discussion of sorts where my video is the main topic and my point of view on said subject. And then I want you guys to give me your opinions and your point of view on the subject in the comments. This series from now on is going to be called Hipfire, and I want to give a shout out to my buddy from work, Drew. He his nickname from now on is going to be Rodin, just so you guys know. He's planned to be on this channel at some point here in the near-ish future within the next couple of months. I have a video planned out for me and him to do together. Shout out to him. He's the one who helped me come up with the title for this series. So we're gonna get into Hipfire series episode number 1, and this discussion is going to be on ethical hunting ranges and what you consider an ethical hunting range. What I consider an ethical hunting range is uh, it all really depends on your ability as a shooter, as a hunter, what you would define as your ethical hunting range. For me personally, my ethical hunting range is anything inside of 350 yards for a deer. For coyote, it's going to be somewhere sub 300 yards. About 300 yards is about where I would cut that off. And I would say probably within 350 as well for elk or larger game. Now, the reason for that, there's a couple of hard numbers that need to be a cutoff for ethical hunting range, and those are going to be where your bullet stops performing at its peak performance and how much energy is impacted on the target at said distance. So it comes down to the ballistic capabilities of the bullet you're shooting, and it comes down to your ability as a shooter to hit a set size, the vital area of whatever your game that you're going to be hunting is. Now, for a deer, I believe the vital target area is somewhere around 7 to 8 inches, if I memory serves right, somewhere in the 7 to 8 inches. Now, the limiting factor for my range on deer is going to be that I live somewhere where really long shots aren't feasible for me personally, because I hunt a lot of public land where it's, you get like maybe a 200-yard shot and that's about it, and then you're into trees or brush or something, something's in the way. um for coyotes, it's a little different because that goes to my ability as a shooter. I know that the coyote vital size is rather small, and with my 1 minute gun here, I feel confident in shooting the smaller sized vitals of a coyote up to 300 yards. That's just my personal limit. Now, as far as the bullet that I'll be using for coyotes, they're capable way past that. I'm personally not comfortable taking a shot past that because one thing that I find very important as a hunter, as somebody who um, gathers their own food, is that the one main objective of putting down an animal is to do it effectively and as humanely as possible. So that's You want to get a good shot vitals, and you want that animal to suffer as little as possible between the time that you pull the trigger until the time it's on the ground not breathing anymore. So those are the limiting factors for me personally when I'm setting an ethical hunting range for whatever game that I'm going after. Another segment of the ability of the shooter is that you have to feel confident that you can place that shot multiple times in a row. Not that you're going to have to. You shouldn't ever have to shoot an animal more than once or twice. Like if you got a bad shot, if you jerked, if it ducked or moved out of the way slightly, you shouldn't ever have to take multiple shots. But if you do, you should be able to feel confident enough that you can make that same shot placement in that set vital size multiple times in a row. And for this gun here, this is a minute gun out to 600 yards. I mean, I'm only capable of keeping it a minute up to 3 at the moment. But that's, it all comes down to building fundamentals and building the ability. You can always learn the ability to shoot better. You can't make a gun shoot better. The gun, if it's capable of shooting less than a minute, the only limiting factor to that would be you, or the shooter in this case. So, yeah. Now, that's my point of view, and I want to hear your guys' opinions and your point of view, what your ethical hunting range is for whatever animals that you hunt. Just leave them down in the comments, and I'll reply to pretty much every one of them if I can. Well, thanks for joining me for the first episode of Hipfire, and you guys have a good weekend. See you next time.